Okay, then.
Well, I realized I also didn't have that playing while we were live, so whatever. Maybe we'll do it again another time.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear that again.
Yes, you do.
I don't know, man.
How do you not want to hear one of the coolest acapella versions of a new metal song?
One of my favorite things about new metal is the actual music. The vocals are not their strongest suit.
That's what you think.
That's what I know. I know things. I'm Discuss Metal Dan. I know all kinds of things.
Shit, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know how to talk into the mic. That's one thing I definitely don't know.
Oh, you should buy Toomey's microphone. I saw he's selling it for a $30 less than you can buy a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using one that I paid like $90 for, and that seems to be like more my price range.
Oh, there you go. How we doing?
Who, me?
Oh, Andrew.
I'm trying to get this hooked up to my laptop. The laptop's not recognizing my AirPods.
Be a lot cooler if you had robot ears.
Got a robot leg.
I mean, that is a thing.
Where'd it go?
Right?
That's still always going to be my favorite horrible thing that someone has ever said to you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Why the hell isn't this working?
I don't know. You don't want the Star Trek machine, though, anyway.
There we go. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Got it.
And
I can hear you.
I don't hear the echo of us, so that's even better.
Yeah, cool. Got it. Yep.
Sweet.
Well, now that everyone can hear each other, there's no extra delay, echo, any of that shit. We are going to do our top 5 new metal songs. We are not going to go, at least I'm not. I don't have them in like, this is my, absolute number 1. So if anyone's going to do that, okay.
Yeah, I put mine in no particular order.
Okay, cool. So
yep.
We're just gonna start. Actually, the whole reason this started was because obviously we do these once a week, and Andrew sent me a text one morning. Goes, "What's this? Or what band is this?" And I was like, "I don't know. It sounds like," and I couldn't get over you're doing the whole like thing in the video.
the new metal.
Yeah.
You know the look, the classic. You know, guitar down to the ankles, and
you're missing the snake bites though.
You're like, yeah.
But basically you were sending me that, and then you were like the rest of the day on your Instagram stories was just nothing but new metal stuff. And I was like, how would you feel about just coming on and doing a new metal like top 5 thing? Like that could be fun.
Oh hell yeah. What was the first thing I sent you that morning that I said, what band is this?
Yeah, it was
Taproot. Oh, it was Taproot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I started with, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, local. At least Michigan has their own stamp on new metal.
They might have made my list. We'll see. You know,
we'll see.
We'll find out. Yeah. So
and then Dan, I just drugged Dan into this, but
he did.
Conveniently enough, everyone's been doing Chimera. Like Toomey had a Mark on his live thing last night. You guys did the new episode of discography discussion on Chimera.
We did.
I feel like I didn't get the memo that it was supposed to be Chimera week for podcasts.
Yeah, you missed out.
I guess
it's cool because I had several songs from Pass Out of Existence in my playlist on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that I engaged the most with people on that. So many people were hitting me going, dude, this album was like one for me. Like takes me back to high school, and I didn't really expect it. I know a lot of people like their later stuff, but that record, like I didn't expect as many people to be down with.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's stop teasing and start our list. I'll defer to our guest to kick it off.
Okay.
No pressure.
Yeah, I did no particular order here. And this is going to change tomorrow. This top 5. It's always changing. But I tried to find a couple of sort of deep ones here that would be super weird. So, while we were just talking about them, Taproot again and again. Like you said, man, they're local. They're like hometown heroes. And yeah, I mean, I just love the low end in riffs on Gift. yeah, that's just one that takes me back. Most of these, I'm gonna probably bore everyone by saying like, "Oh man, it's like hopping in a time machine when you listen to them." But that's like, it like really is. It just takes me back to years of like skateboarding and stuff when I was just a young little shit, you know. But yeah, I'd say Taproot again and again. That's my first one, not in any particular order, but
I totally was gonna play the songs, but then I figured we get flagged so fast. So I'm not gonna play the songs. Sorry.
Could you imagine if we listened to 15 separate songs and we all just sat here looking at each other the whole time?
You have to pick out who picked what.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
I would too, actually, to be fair. I would.
No.
Next one in my list here.
Let's go to Dan so he can do his. We'll just kind of rotate.
Oh, you want to rotate?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
Sweet. Yeah,
Sweet.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dan, what do you got?
Okay, well, so some of my picks are going to be kind of newer, no pun intended, but like within the last few years. So, my favorite one, or not favorite one, but one of my top favorite nu metal songs of all time is the song "Keep Alone" by the band My Ticket Home, and because they started off as like a metalcore band, but then they decided that, you know, since all their buddies were doing that they were going to play nu metal instead. So they put out a record. And it was straight up like, sounds like Slipknot's Iowa. But I love that song because it's like the way dude screams. Because like you can't take a dude that was in a hardcore band and make him scream and it not sound like a dude screaming from a hardcore band. But there's something different about the nu metal scream. And he was able to pull that transition off like perfectly. And then the clean chorus that they throw in there. I'm not even really that big of a fan of clean choruses, but I think in this case, it was just like the song itself is so abrasive, like in an Iowa kind of way, that, you know, like for him to cut through with that clean chorus, like, I don't know, man, it's like the clouds open up or something. I don't know. It's a weird way to describe it, but that song is just absolutely killer. And I've listened to it like 6 times today. And I was going back and forth on whether or not I was going to put it on my list because it's so like recent.
I mean, it is making a resurgence right now with a lot of bands.
It is.
I mean, I made the joke earlier about how I was going to piss people off and throw Code Orange on just for shits and giggles and watch the world implode.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need to check out the My Ticket Home. I haven't listened to it yet, but everything really you just described about it, yeah, that interests me.
Yeah, it's a great record.
So my first one, and I went back and forth on this band and this song for probably the last 2 days because I was like, man, people are going to give me shit, but I really think if you listen to it, there's no mistaking that this is a nu metal song, and it is Biohazard's Punishment.
Nice.
It is. I mean, from Evan's like kind of rapped kind of verses on it. I mean, yeah, it's more traditional New York style hardcore at times, but it's kind of got that like bouncy like guitar riff in it and shit like that into a slow down.
Absolutely.
Like the more I just kept hearing it, I was like, man, I don't know. This is like right when hardcore and nu metal were kind of like getting merged together, I think, into, you know, Biohazard being one of those bands that just kind of transcended like hardcore nu metal sort of rap rock kind of stuff. And I mean, just being a fucking great band. But this record and this song in particular, I was just like, I don't know if people are going to dig this. I don't know if they're going to agree with me, but fuck it. It's going on. And I'm going swinging out the fence for a weird band right away.
Hell yeah. I back that. Yeah. You can definitely hear in their music, you can hear tons of nu metal influence, whether anyone likes it or not. It's in there. But
well, I mean, even if you look at the set from them playing this song, I think it was at Dynamo Fest in like 94 or 95. I don't know. Maybe it was later than that. But everyone's got like especially Evan's got like his bass all like down to his fucking knees and shit. And he's just like kind of holding it. And he's just like, all right, like, I see you.
Hell yeah.
So next up, what do you got?
Do you hear Hank back there?
I can hear Hank. Hank's trying to get in his top 5.
He's trying to, he's going to try to give his pick. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
so next for me,
you let the dogs out. It's not.
I was gonna say it. And I stopped. next I got the Godfathers, man, Korn,
Mm.
and the song "It's On."
All right.
The opening track from Follow the Leader, which on disc it started at track 13. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I thought it was track 14. I thought there were 13 tracks of silence, and track 14 is what it started on.
I think it was 12 and 13. It started on 13, I think.
Okay. Either way.
It could be. I could be wrong, but I always thought that was really weird and cool to do. But like just that intro with that riff, it's got that just
and then
it builds the tension. Oh yeah, and it just builds. It gets you super hyped. You know what I mean? Like it just builds this tension, and then when it all comes in, it hits. And that record in general, Follow the Leader. I mean, that's probably my favorite Korn record, and that song just gets me hyped to listen to it front to back, and always reminds me of like, I don't know why, summer of like 6th, 7th grade, something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's when it. No, it came out way earlier than that. But anyway, that's my next one, Korn.
What's interesting about that song is that like it also very much introduces you to the new Korn, or at least at the time, the new Korn sound, because like the previous two records didn't have those type of like effects pedals and stuff going on. And so like this one just starts off like just drenched in effects, and that the rest of that record kind of follows suit. So that song is literally like the perfect introduction to like, hey guys, this is what Korn sounds like now. You're going to love it.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I actually, in listening to a lot of the different stuff, have realized that a lot of the sound I think that a lot of people think of when they think of new metal is Ross Robinson inspired, because, you know, you listen to those first two Korn records, which he did. You listen to some of the Slipknot stuff, which he did. You listen to a lot of these bands, even, you know, I think he did like a Soulfly record, I believe, too. But it's like he is undeniably like the epicenter of new metal is Ross Robinson. And then even the kind of the weird thing that's been making me wonder is like, why do all the bands sound drastically different once they go away? Like, is it because he's so heavy handed and being like, this is your sound, like do it, or what? Because it's like every band that I just kind of have said doesn't sound the same once they go away from him and break away.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got next?
Oh, well, it's funny that you would bring up Soulfly. Because I guess my favorite Soulfly song, and it has like the dumbest name in the world, and I hate even saying it out loud. But it's Jump the Fuck Up by Soulfly, also featuring Corey Taylor. Yep. I mean, is there a better new metal cocktail than that? Because I don't think that there is. Like that song is just so energy. And like it's funny because Corey starts it off kind of light, like he's just like singing like real slow and everything, and then it builds up, and then Max comes in and just starts doing what Max does, you know, and before you know it, man, you're just like you have no choice. You actually have to get up, like and move around.
Yeah, the back and forth between it when it comes in with the. You know, you seem to sever all my... Yeah, and then it goes through all of that, and it's calm, and then they repeat. Every time the chorus hits, it's jump the fuck up. You can't help it. You gotta jump with it. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, good choice, man. Wow. What a band.
Yeah, I was trying really hard, like, not to, like, start, like, moving. I was at work listening to them on AirPods, and I'm just like, I'm literally just like, I'm over here. I'm like standing up in my chair. I'm like, everybody's like, what's the matter? Yes. I was like, if you heard it, you'd understand.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm going to piggyback off of Andrew's. Mine is actually off the same record, Follow the Leader. It's Justin, though.
Wow.
That fucking... Oh man!
Fuck all that bullshit.
Well, I just got depressed. Cool.
But no, like I mean, you would honestly that could have been the album opener as well. Like honestly, if you would have put that right in front, it has this exact same vibe of it's on. And it's funny because like that was my initial thought for Leader, and even like BBK was another one that I was kind of thinking of. But you know, there's so many good tracks, and it's funny because I forget who it was. I think from Lamb Goat. Was just making the comment about how they listened to Follow the Leader recently, like, oh, it's so cringy now. And I'm like, other than All in the Family and Children of the Corn a little bit, the rest of the record, take those two songs off, still fucking holds up.
I heavily fuck with it still. Yeah.
So it's a great song, and I think like that and It's On, and just really a lot of the riffs. The riffs became a lot bigger, I think, on that record. Like more emphasis on just big song structures and lots of bounce that you were seeing them incorporate.
Absolutely.
Dan, do you have much to add to Follow the Leader at this point, since we've talked about it twice?
I mean, unofficially off the list. I think All in the Family, honestly, it's weird because obviously I love that song when I was like 14, you know what I mean? It's like the cool song I ever heard. It's one of those like your parents would like smash your entire CD collection if they heard it, you know, like, so it had that going. As an adult looking back on it, I'm like, oh boy, okay, I don't really know what to do with that. And it is still very funny, especially like with John and Fred, and you look at like the personal development that those two individuals have had over the years, and how and basically how like you know, like how Fred still like even on his like latest release, which I think was like in 2013, was still kind of acting like that, and John is like has gone through all this like personal growth and and all of that. So it's just really funny to go back and listen to like where they were that year. And but yeah, that song's still funny. But I think the album overall, I mean, it is probably one of the, if not the most landmark new metal album out there, just because like everybody tried to sound like that after that record came out. And even because like Coal Chamber's second record all of a sudden sounded like kind of like Follow the Leader, at least in the approach. There were so many bands that were trying to do that, like, because like before, I feel like in the 90s, and I'm sorry guys, I could talk about this stuff all day, but like in the early 90s when the first Korn record came out, you know, yeah, everybody kind of wanted to sound like that or whatever, but like they were still considered like an extreme kind of music. Whereas when Follow the Leader came out and how successful it was, everybody, the labels took notice, everybody took notice, and they're like, wow, this is actually really, really, really like, we could sell this. Like, this is actually commercial enough, but it's also still inappropriate enough for people that are hardcore into it not to think that they're being like sold out or whatever.
Yeah, it got me hyped that Freak on a Leash and like even on Issues Falling Away From Me was #1 on TRL and stuff.
Yep.
You know, several weeks running and stuff. That showed that Korn was like just killing it in mainstream and in rock and metal, and that was sick to see. So,
by the way, your whole comment about the Straight Jacket album version of Issues was better is totally wrong. That's why it wasn't voted as the album.
I think it is better.
No, it is better. You're wrong, John. You're incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've been outvoted, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you lost.
Okay.
It's the Straight Jacket.
Andrew's taking over as host next week, so it's been a good run. But yeah,
there we go.
It's just going to be me and him from now on. So
the podcast inside.
It's rough. Yeah,
that's right.
All right.
Inside
so back to Andrew,
podcast.
I believe at this point.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this was hard because this is one of my, still to this day, favorite bands. They're probably top 5 favorite bands of all time for me, and massively influential to me on my style of like drumming, especially, and the way I play guitar and write riffs and stuff. But it was really, really hard to choose just one song because they're such an important band to me. But I ended up going with the song "Crucified" by Seven Dust.
Nice.
And that's off the record Animosity. So that's the record after Home. For me, Bitch was the first song I ever heard from Seven Dust. It was on my brother's. My brother had one of the very first MP3 players that ever came out. I don't know what brand it was. It was about this big. And I remember he had that song on there. This was back during the days of like Kazaa and Napster and LimeWire and stuff. And he had Bitch on there, and I heard that. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I dig this. And then Home, and I heard Waffle and saw the video, and I was like, they look sick. Like, I love this. Animosity is the one that made me go, okay, this is like one of my favorite bands ever. And that song, Crucified, 4th track on the record. Man, I was even telling you a little earlier, John, like just when the chorus hits, right after he says lied, the chord progression, it goes to that melodic chord. It just, when it hits, man, it's just one of those parts that hits you in the feels. And heavy ass breakdown in the middle of it. Morgan Rose, just such a monster. His groove is insane. Hugely influential to me in my drumming. And his drumming on that record, I think, is some of the just sickest, like most tasteful little fills and cool grooves that he's ever done. I mean, everything he does is killer. But man, that whole record front to back for me, I was telling you, I don't know. Yeah, John, I know you're more of a fan of Home, and it's hard to. Home is so incredible too, but like I think for me,
the way it ends,
Animosity. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. With Angel's Son.
No.
Are you talking about Home? Yeah.
With Bender, Waffle, and Rumblefish and
Rumblefish, yeah,
Cream and all that. Yeah, or Ass Drop.
Yeah. What a band. Yeah. That's my next pick.
Yeah, I think like what really made Seven Dust for me was obviously Morgan's drumming, but also just you've got LeJean in here like singing like an angel over everything.
So
like
good.
he's just like smoothing out all of the grit, but not taking away from the intensity of it at all. And like I've never heard a dude sound so beautiful and so angry at the same time.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
Howard Jones comes close. But but Howard never sounds angry. Like it's just one of those things.
Dude, LeJean is the GOAT. Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Dan, what do you got?
Well, I'm gonna jump on the Chino train on this one. So my next pick is Needles and Pins by Deftones. It's weird that all my picks are like not from the classic records. I'm really a deep cuts kind of guy, and like it's not even that heavy of a song. It's actually okay. So get this: it's a Deftones song, but it's like slow and broody, and Chino like just sounds like real kind of real low key and quiet on it. You know, yeah, totally different than all their other stuff, right? But he like there's something about like that hypnotic. It's just the same, dude. It's just the same riff over and over and over again for like 4 minutes, but it like builds in intensity. And it's so like it made me feel really special whenever I was in high school and feeling like I was just different than everybody else and I just wasn't understood, and all that stuff. So like that song still hits me in the feels because it's like super broody. There's screams in the background. It's just, I don't know, it's haunting. And that's, I love that about it because it's so, it makes little goth kids think that they are like just misunderstood and that the world doesn't know them, and then obviously a year later they're like, oh, Deftones is like super mainstream, I start listening to different kind of music.
My computer froze or whatever, so what was your song? Obviously it's a Deftones song, but which one?
Sorry, it was Pins and Needles. I'm sorry, Needles and Pins.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating because the song's called Needles and Pins, but in the song he says pins and needles. Yeah, so like, come on, Chino. Like,
I definitely think that that self-titled record is criminally underrated. Like a lot of people like that. And people are like, "Oh, these records are just." That's where I fell off, and I'm like, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You really need to go back and check out those records because there's some really killer riffs and songs on those things, which I think definitely informed what would be where everyone kind of came back on with Diamond Eyes.
Yeah, dude, it's my favorite Deftones album, hands down. There's no contest.
We had to see him on that tour opening with Thursday and Thrice opening up at the Orbit Room, which was
now that's an interesting lineup.
Well, it was because and I forget, I always get the lineup wrong, but I'm pretty sure we were 1 and 2 dates. They had a date in Detroit and then the date here in Grand Rapids, and then it was going to be Poison the Well, Deftones, and Thursday. I think Thrice was the one hopping off. But yeah, that was one of my favorite shows I've ever been to. It was packed, like sold out and then some. And like you're looking at Thrice on Artists in the Ambulance had just come out. Thursday on War All the Time, Deftones on self-titled record. Like what a fucking like era to catch all three of those bands.
Yep, and that venue is amazing. I miss it.
Yeah, I do too. Figures I finally start getting hooked up with VIP. They like to sit in the nice area and have like my own private bar and not a million people on me, and then the venue fucking goes under.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah.
All right. Shit. So this is where it's hard. I have like extras list. I guess we can kind of do whatever we don't.
You should have just wrote 5, John. You're making
Yeah.
life too difficult. You do everything the hard way, man.
I do. So actually, I'm gonna call an audible. It's still the same band, but I'm flipping my songs. I'm gonna go with Limp Bizkit, The Priest, off of The Unquestionable Truth.
Ooh,
I
almost made my list, dude. Almost.
I have been listening. Like for me, everybody who says like Limp Bizkit sucks after a while, they need to go back to $3 Bill Y'all sound. The Unquestionable Truth is that sound. It is what everyone wanted. It's the raw, like in the room kind of sound that band was, known for on that first, Ross Robinson record of $3 Bill Y'all. And the thing that's like crazy about it is they just dropped the fucking record and the EP, and like no publicity around it. Pretty much didn't tour it either, I don't think. But to me, like that is where the first thing they did with Wes back in the band, like that was kind of going back to their roots. And the more I listen to that EP, and I always get stuck on The Truth, because like that's just a great fucking guitar line, like the groove on it's fucking great. But there's something about The Priest, the way it just kind of cuts in with like the weird spoken word thing, and Fred going like, it might be the absent talking, and they just hear someone going like, probably not. Like, kind of reminds me a little bit of like new metal things, like where you'd hear like little like background noise and shit like that. Like think of that first Korn record, where they're like doing studio outtakes before the songs or after the songs and so forth. But like just how raw and like kind of weird that song is, like just kind of to me is like one of my favorite newer Limp Bizkit songs that I don't think a lot of people know about. So I kind of wanted to throw something really cool in there that's different. The song I was going to pick was going to be Trust, because holy shit, that intro though.
Yeah, dude, that is okay. I don't think it's the best Limp Bizkit album, but it is. It's technically an EP, so it's hard for me to talk about it. But like, basically, yeah, this was exactly what all the fans wanted, but it was kind of one of those too little, too late kind of things. I think most people had moved on at that point, and they missed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a straight significant other and hot dog. That's when you told me about that, I looked it up and I was like, wait, what? What Limp Bizkit album is this?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? It came out in 2005, the year I graduated, which was a year I was like really starting to get like out of nu metal and into like, hardcore and metalcore. So like I really didn't pay attention the year it came out. And then like I just never even knew it happened. I never even knew it came out.
So did you give? I mean, it's only like I think 5 or 6 songs. Did you give it?
I listened to the song that you sent me. I think it was The Truth.
Yep.
And I 100% hear, even down to the mix, it sounds like $3 Bill Y'all.
Yeah, dude, that's such a criminally underrated record. But like, I've been falling back down that rabbit hole, and I'm just like, fuck, this EP is so goddamn good. And like again, like I kind of wanted to throw some curveballs, because I feel like, like, and as I'm wearing a Death Row record shirt. This was like the era where I basically was listening to so much hip hop, like that late 90s, early 2000s hip hop, that I realized there was just so much shit that I just was like, I don't know if like I'm in like the new metal bubble, like some of you guys will be with your list, but yeah, I definitely feel like this is another curveball, just very much like the Biohazard one. And even Dan, like going like, "Ooh, it almost made my list."
Yeah, and that's weird because like before we did the discography discussion episode on Limp Bizkit, so Andrew, if you don't know, like, so I do another podcast called Discography Discussion where we do exactly what it sounds like. We'll just pick a band and talk about all their records. We did one on the Ghost Inside, just check it out. But there's we ended up doing an episode on Limp Bizkit, and I remember not wanting to do it because I was like, dude, I don't know if I can get into that. Like, I just seems wrong to me to do. And then, like, it was the strangest thing. I listened to the record. I got halfway through $3 Bill Y'all, and I was like, I like this.
Yeah,
like it can't be denied. And I was doing it when I was working, and at the time I worked a very physical job, like working in people's garages and stuff. So like, I definitely could not believe how much quicker I worked and how much more efficiently I worked. Like that music just zoned me in. Like everything, like literally from $3 Bill all the way through Gold Cobra, I was like hooked. And then I had to go on my metal and hardcore show and tell everybody how much I love Limp Bizkit. And honestly, I'm fine with it. I'm totally comfortable with it.
Yeah, if you like it, don't be ashamed. Like what you like. Everyone else can fuck off.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Whose turn is it now?
Yours.
No idea.
Dude, I have the deepest of cuts right here. Okay. This is something you could probably play and not get flagged.
Because no one will know.
There's a story. There's a story behind this, and it's really weird. It's really not even one of my favorite nu metal songs. But I put it in here just because it's so weird. You guys might have heard it, but we were talking about Kazaa and Napster and LimeWire back in the day. I remember I used that shit a lot, you know.
Oh yeah.
And when looking for bands like Slipknot and Seven Dust and Taproot and all these bands, I saw this one, and it said Slipknot featuring Korn, Feel No Shame.
Huh.
And I was like, what? And I downloaded it, and it's like this banging ass nu metal song. And I was like, even when I was like really young back then, I was like, there's no way this is actually Korn and Slipknot. Like, they never talked about it. They never announced anything. Like, no way. Seriously, like 12 or 13 years later, I find out it's by this band called Seated Crown, and the song is called Giving In. And it is the most quintessential nu metal song. Like, you could probably play the first 30 seconds of it, and it won't get flagged. I don't think they ever were on a label or anything. I think I don't know. I don't know much about the band at all. All I know is they had this song that made its rounds through Kazaa as Slipknot featuring Korn, and it created this like weird mystery around it for so long.
What was it called again?
Seated Crown. Seeded Crown.
You should play it, John.
I am looking it up right now.
Play it.
It's
got a Titanic. Giving In. It's got a Titanic sample. It is so nu metal, dude. I can't wait for you guys to hear this.
Let's do it, man.
And for years, I thought this was Slipknot featuring Korn, like an unreleased thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I ran into so much of that using. Oh, here he's got it. Cool.
Yeah, dude, this is it.
Oh. Well, at least it's been remastered.
Turn it back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
I love the album title, Please Remain Seated.
No, dude.
I'm digging it, man.
I love it. Yeah. That's Korn.
They're also all doing that nu metal look on the album cover, too. All right.
Yeah, dude. So like,
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, as you can hear, it definitely it could pass as Slipknot featuring Korn, like some old demo they did on tour, like recorded on their tour bus, like in like 1999 on Ozfest or something. Like,
yeah.
So it's kind of believable. But man, like for years I thought it was this thing, and then somewhat recently found out it was this band Seated Crown, and I thought that'd be kind of a fun one to throw in my list.
That's cool. No,
yeah,
I'm gonna track that down.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Dan, what do you got?
Well, I wasn't gonna include this one, but I feel like all bets are off now. So mine, you can definitely play this one, John.
All right.
But I'm gonna make this easy on you, and I'm just gonna send you the link.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm still on YouTube right now.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'll send you the link here. Because I'm that guy. But I'll tell you what it is. So this was actually a local band here in St. Louis called The Fifth Element. I know, right?
Hell yeah.
It's a great band.
Yeah.
It is a great band name. However, try Googling The Fifth Element and not getting the movie.
Right.
Right?
You're gonna
Like,
or getting the LLC.
yeah. Like I said, that was so that was very disheartening. Because I think I recommended it to Roach Coach, and they're like, I literally can't find this record. So I had to like wait until I saw Lauren face to face, and I handed him the record. So yeah, let me send you the link here though. This is okay. I'll let you guys listen and judge for yourself, but this is the song that made me into a screaming vocalist. I used to sing this thing so hard on like so hard in my room. And it's weird because I got this CD at a Goodwill for like $3. And then I had to do all this research on the band. Well, I couldn't find any information because they'd been gone forever, you know? And like, I guess they only had this one CD out, but my God, is it a banger.
So we're going deep cuts. I like it.
Super deep. Yeah. And you will absolutely not get copyright struck on this.
I would hope not with 190 views.
Yeah. It does take a minute to get going, but
all the best new metal songs do.
It's worth it.
Yes, that's true.
Good vocals.
Oh yeah, dude.
And you know he did this all in one take too, because they couldn't afford to do overdubs.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that bass.
Oh, dude. Dude, check this out. This scream section, though. This made me want to scream in a band. Yeah, dude.
What year was that?
2000, 1999 or 2000.
It sounds like if that were like a local band here, that would have been my favorite band for sure.
They were. They were absolutely were.
That's,
dude.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Seeing that, oh my God, they were fantastic. And they just disappeared, basically. I mean, I don't think they ever went any further than St. Louis, but like they put a record out that sounded that good or whatever, but like, yeah, I could definitely hook you up with the files or whatever if you're interested, because I've always been trying to spread the gospel of that band, but like none of the band members know that I'm doing that or anything. But if I ever catch one of them, I'll do like a 2-hour interview and nobody will download it, and it will be incredible. Like I don't even care. There you go.
Speaking to Matt Thomas's comment, I actually was going to put Darwin's Waiting Room on my list, because when you hear Feel So Stupid, it's like, think of like the dude who sounds like Brandon Boyd from Incubus, the rap rock scream dude, like just the guitars that looks like the dude from West, like a wannabe West Borland. It's like it has all the trappings of new metal in that one single.
It's got all the tropes.
But yeah, but like the thing too, and like even talking with Bridget, because she was gonna possibly do this with us, which would have been fun.
Come on.
She was like, well, you know, is it songs you listen to still, or is it just songs that like when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's new metal? And I was like, I'm kind of going off shit I like and still kind of holds up regardless of, you know, it being from the new metal era technically. But that was kind of mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and break the protocol of this one, just because to me you need to fucking gotta fucking hear this, because it's so fucking good.
You're gonna get us demonetized, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
We made like 8 cents on our last stream. Come on, man.
This is a classic.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm in it, dude.
I mean, just those like pounding bass drums. A little DJ scratch too. Can't fuck with that.
Oh man, what a banger!
Oh my god!
Oh,
I remember sitting in shit. What grade was I in? I think it was in 7th grade in high school when that came. Or no, it was in high school. So that would have been freshman year.
Did you graduate 2005?
2002.
Okay.
But I remember a kid playing just like shitty, like those like shitty Koss headphones, like had more foam on them than they did anything else. And I just like heard this like wall of noise, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And this dude goes here and puts it on, and I basically hear that. I'm like, "What nightmare did this come from?" But I mean, Slipknot. I mean, nobody. I mean, one of us had to put Slipknot on this fucking our list, but like that first record is just so undeniable. There's just something about it that like when you hear it, like it just makes you move. Like, I mean, I am the push that makes you move. Like,
yeah, it's just raw, dude. Raw energy.
Yeah,
and it still is too. Yeah,
and it's wild to know that like that's what 8 dudes are somehow able, like especially back then, are able. Yeah, 9 dudes are able to sound that like where you can hear everybody equally. Like it just baffles me that you can still hear everything so crisply on that record.
You can actually hear Clown hitting the barrel with a bat. Like
you can hear the kegs with a metal bat on a metal keg.
Yeah, and you can hear it loud as day, and it's just like because I remember I saw Slipknot live before I ever heard their album, and I remember being like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen," and then so I just like walked away and like did something like got some food or something, whatever, and then I know I was totally wrong. Because so a buddy of mine bought the CD and the self-titled CD and a shirt, and then he burned me a copy of the CD because piracy, and I was like, oh my god, I'm really upset that I apparently missed like the greatest show ever. I just thought they looked really dumb in their outfits or whatever. I've been wrong about more things.
I mean, maybe the best live band I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the sickest production, like, oh man, what a show! Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because like I was really into new metal. Obviously, we all were, or we wouldn't be here. But like, I was really into new metal for a while. When I was like developing as a heavy music fan, and then of course I got into hardcore and metalcore, which then led to like death metal and prog metal and all this stuff or whatever. And so after a while, I got like so hoity-toity, and I was like, well, they're not the heaviest band in the world because like if you listen to this Suffocation song, blah 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 blah, and then I saw Slipknot live again, and I was like, no, these guys are absolutely the heaviest band in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Korn too. Korn still is like one of the heaviest bands live I've ever heard. It's insane. Yeah, I
actually had to put in earplugs. You know what I mean? Like I would go see Dillinger Escape Plan like any day of the week and not wear earplugs, but whenever I saw Korn, I had to wear earplugs. It was outrageous.
Yeah, insane.
All right, Andrew, your last one. What do you got? Bring it home.
Last one, okay. Yeah,
I mean, we'll do honorable mentions for sure because I know we all have extras. But
I do have a couple extras. Yeah. So this is a fun one. The song "Payback" by the band Flaw. Do you guys know that band?
Yeah, great band. Well, that first record.
That's the video with all the worms in it, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I love that you said all the worms because, man, I watched the video today too. I was like, God, this is gross, dude. Like,
it is.
But it is. To me, the reason I chose this song is, when it came out, I fucking loved it, man. I found this song and this band off a PlayStation 2 demo disc that had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and SSX Tricky on it.
Nice.
And it had it played the Flaw music video at the end. It also played Mushroomhead Solitaire Unraveling music video. So I heard both Mushroomhead and Flaw the same day, like just playing video games. But yeah, like it's just they're such a they kind of, like you were saying, they have like kind of all the tropes. Like the look too. They do the like look up at the spiders coming from the ceilings movements, and snake bites with the straps and handcuffs and chains all over their jinkos, and just super, super, super new. But man, that song just bangs, dude. The riff, that opening riff, it's just so heavy and groovy. But
again, on the other
man,
side.
and then that other song they have, Hole. Yeah. That's a good one. I actually haven't listened to that record in.
It still holds up for what it is.
Yeah, but that song, that Payback song, is just unforgettable. That's like one of the quintessential nu metal jams, in my opinion.
I don't remember if the story is as I remember it, because like I think it was because they told this story a shitload in like Guitar World and all that back in the day, where they maxed out credit cards for musician's friend or something like that, got all brand new gear, recorded everything, and then like within 30 days or less. And then part of the stipulation on the credit card thing was like, if you returned everything within that 30 days, you didn't have to pay for it. So they got all this like super nice top of the line gear, recorded this record, and then sent it all back.
If that's true, it's a pretty boss ass move right there.
That's one of the most baller things I've heard in this entire conversation. Like, that's amazing.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Flaw.
And then all the bullshit they went through recently.
Well, yeah.
But, dude, Chris Ball's still got a great voice. Underrated for sure.
I agree.
Dan, what do you got for your last one?
Well, I got to bring Fred back into it because, I mean, I just got to.
You're feeling those lighters?
I'm feeling those lighters, man, like really hard. Should probably turn on the air conditioner. But anyway, so mine is, again, off of a more recent record, which is Gold Cobra. And the song is called Get a Life. And it wasn't actually going to be one of my picks, but I heard it today. I know this like, what is this, your all time? And you heard it like today. I didn't hear it for the first time today, but it struck me really hard this time because the song Get a Life, like it starts off with like Fred, like just rapping just the dumbest stuff you've ever heard in your life. Like he's like, it's your boy White Dog, also known by my alias Polar Bear, and like all this stuff. And then like, it's hilarious. And he's like, but and he's like, I'm a shark in my underground fish tank, and like just all kinds of weird stuff. It's so Fred, it's so on brand. But then the chorus kicks in where he's like, get alive, get a motherfucking life. Like he starts screaming and like Wes is just going nuts on, and it's just, it is one of the most chaotic moments I've heard from Limp Bizkit, like ever. And this is not their latest album, which is 7 years old now, but like, it just like to hear them come at it with that level of intensity in 2013, like it just blew my mind. And the lyrics, as dumb as they are, like I get where Fred, this is my justification for Limp Bizkit. Fred does not deliver with like the smartest words, but I get where he's coming from a lot of the time. So he's just like, yeah, everybody hates me, everybody thinks that I'm a douche, and nobody likes me or whatever, but you guys are just jealous because I put out a record. It was like one of the biggest records ever released of all time. So you can be mad all you want, but you don't have that, and I have that, and nobody ever can take that away from me. So I love that song, number one, lyrically, and number two, because of just that insane chorus of him just screaming his head off like a maniac. Dude, it sounds like he's 17 again in a basement. Like it's incredible. Like I get vibes of the first time I ever heard Faith and him screaming like that. Like it just, that song, dude. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Like I kind of just want to hang up and go listen to it like right now. Like it's just that, it's that good bad. Like it's objectively not a good song, but like I love it.
Hell yeah. Now the tough part. I'm gonna go with what my gut is telling me to pick off my list, and that is Static X. I'm with Stupid. Like
it's not Push It.
Nope, it's not Push It. Like that's
like Otsego Undead.
Nope. And I mean, being here in Michigan, the Otsego theme across the records, it hits a little bit closer to home with him being from here.
Absolutely.
But, No, the more I kind of listened to Almost Stupid, I think the thing for me was, it has a lot of the tropes of new metal. It has a lot of the tropes of Static X. It's kind of got that industrial sample, real riffy, easy guitar, just massive. But I love the fact that like Wayne's vocals go into kind of like a death metal vocal at times, where it's got that like real low, like ooh, kind of to it.
Yeah, it's even on Wisconsin Death Trip. Is that song on Wisconsin?
That's on.
Wisconsin. He hits the lows in there a lot actually.
Yeah, and so the more I kind of listen to it, it's like kitschy and fun, like with it was very stupid. It's just the whole thing. Like even listening to it on my way home from grabbing dinner, I was just like, this whole thing just slams, dude. Like it's not necessarily the obvious of like, Push It or any of the other stuff off of Wisconsin. But I think like, especially when you watch the video, how hokey it is, like when they were trying to fully go with the like Static X like man figure thing that they were trying to
was it like thing. Claymation?
No, not that one. That was the one where they were like in a like theater and he was like playing and they had like people like dancing around and shit, and like the mom was like going around trying to beat the Static X guy, and then at the end like
was that Push It had claymation?
Push It had claymation, yep, but it had like the dude that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, we lost him. Did we lose him?
I'm here. Oh, we lost John, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's probably for the best. No, I'm kidding. He can sign in. He can sign in here in a minute. There he is. Yep.
Did the wrong thing.
Yeah. I like you know what I like on that record is Bled for Days.
Good song.
Where he's like, mindlessness, it's mindlessness.
Well, I even was gonna go with I even almost wanted to go with the first song off of Machine. Just because it's got that like weird like sample cut right into that like over that like just brutal riff. But then I was like to me this is like when I think of Static X, like this is the quintessential Static X aside from Push It. That like most people when they hear it, like, and then even the video is just like full on schlock, like like it's all the hair, it's dancing around, it's Tony
awesome.
Campos actually has his hair down and shit like that. Looks kind of weird. But it reminded it when watching the video the other day, it just made me feel like I was watching MTVX and watching Mistress Julia intro the video.
Oh yeah, wow.
She keeps popping up on my people you may know thing on Facebook. And I'm like, nice. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Right. Hank,
what do you have for some honorable mentions? This will be fun.
I got a couple. Yeah, we're going back. Red New York Cap. For me, one of my I guess I would say my favorite. Just Like This.
Yep.
Besides the intro. Yeah, dude. I mean, it just reminds me of just skateboarding around, just being a young kid. It just takes me back to good times. Wes Borland, god tier riff. He's just a riffer, man. He's one of the best. He's one of my favorites. Should I just reel them all off real quick? I only have a few. Or do you want to go in circles?
I have 3, so I don't know how many Dan has if he's got some honorable mentions.
I have 400, but I'll keep it to 3. That sounds good.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
All right, Dan. Another one of your honorable mentions.
I would have to. So, Matt Thomas kind of took my thunder a little bit here, but
Project 86.
Yeah, dude. Project 86. Their Drawing Black Lines record is like. It's actually a really transitional record that kind of got me into hardcore, but it's still very much rooted kind of in that new metal sound. But it was the first record I heard where the vocalist just screamed the entire time. There wasn't like clean breaks or anything. It was just like go, go, go. And so I started like looking for more stuff like that. And eventually I was like, oh, there's this whole other genre called hardcore that's like everything I like about it. It's got the screaming, the heaviness and everything. That I liked about new metal, but it's all the time, and so there's no, you know what I mean. There's no compromise. It's just go. But my favorite song off of that record, Drawing Black Lines, is a song called "Set Me Up," and they were like a Christian band, so I don't think they got a whole lot of like notoriety. I mean, it was one of those things that they were called that and they were sold in Christian bookstores, but like you listen to the record and it sounds like any other nu metal record that ever existed. They're not like heavy-handed on the religion stuff, or it's like POD was at the time. Like you're like, oh, okay, these guys are like spiritual, but it's cool. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't weird, but Set Me Up, I used to like show to people and be like, dude, this is like heavy, like Slipknot, but it's like a Christian band. Like, can you believe that?
Yeah.
Can you even believe that? Because at the time, I had no idea that there were like Christian death metal bands and stuff. Like I had no clue.
It was like that. My band, real quick to touch on that. Yeah, the very first band I can remember that transitioned me like out of just Mudvayne and Slipknot was Zayo.
Zayo, oh my god.
Yeah, where Blood and Fire Bring Rest. That's the first record I heard, and I was like, this is definitely satanic when I was like 11 years old.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, this is for sure satanic. Found out that no, they were a Christian band. I was like, huh?
Yeah,
you know. But
yeah, Dan is like completely inhuman, dude. Like,
crazy. Yeah, when I heard that, I thought it was straight Satan.
I couldn't even, dude. Here's the funny thing about Zayo. I'm so sorry, John. It's just this conversation's taking a turn. Zayo's my favorite band of all time.
Oh, sweet, yeah,
like 100%. Like I would lay down in mud so that the dudes from Zayo could walk over me and not get muddy. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. But like they, I remember the first time I heard Zayo and I was like totally blown away, obviously, and kind of scared too. But like they, I didn't believe that Dan's vocals were real.
Thought it was like an effect or something crazy.
Yeah, until I saw him live. Yeah. And not only did I get like beat down horribly in the pit, you know, but like I just couldn't believe that a human being could do that or whatever. And then like 6 years later, like I'm up on stage in front of one person doing it. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those like insane sort of things. Let's get back on track. I'm sorry. Anybody that wants to hear me talk about Zayo there's hundreds of hours of it. So just, go check that out.
We love Zayo.
Matt Thomas just commented. He goes, oh man, getting Dan on Zayo. So he knows what's up.
So for me, an honorable mention, and I really wanted to put this on my list, but I just was kind of like, Cypress Hill, Rock Superstar. The thing that kept drawing me back to it though is actually it's twofold. One is really weird and nerdy of me, which is the fact that they were able to shoot one video, repurpose it as a secondary version. So there was Rap Superstar, which is the original version they put out.
Yep.
And then they repurposed a lot of the same footage and then just did like weird little like fill-in shots of whoever was on the guest vocalist, which I think in the video it was Evan Seinfeld from Biohazard, I think was in the bridge section of the song. And on the actual song on the record, it's Chino doing the intro vocal part. But the thing that kind of kept bringing me back to Rock Superstar and even Rap Superstar is vocally and lyrically. It's about all the trappings of success of being in a band. Like you want all these things. Here's the other side of this shit that you don't fucking know about. And they're giving you the truth in what it's like to be a signed artist, to where you have people like your friends aren't your friends. The label's out about themselves. They're fucking you over for money, this, that, and the other. Like, and then, they got this hook, like, so you want to be a rock superstar, the 5 cars, the big house, rent, like all that shit. And you're just like, God damn, man, like, this is like some real blueprint style shit about like what it's like to have to be successful in the music industry, whether it be being a rock band or a rap band, a rap group, whatever. And the more I just kind of kept going back to the song, I was like, God damn, man, this band was like, and really as a band, like they're so criminally underrated, I think, in what they do in rock / kind of metal. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that they touch into that genre as well. So that was one of mine. Yeah.
It's a good one. It's also undeniably catchy. I mean, like you said, that chorus, this undeniable banger.
Well, I mean, the fact that all they did was just add like gung 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 gung, like just guitars.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now it's a whole new song.
So sick, genius.
Yeah.
One for me, and this was a band that I ended my little stories with. And I was really surprised at how many people remembered this band or had heard them because they're pretty fairly unknown. And it's a band called Reveille, and the song Unborn. It's off their Bleed the Sky full length. They had a record before that you just can't find. It's on YouTube, but I couldn't find it on any of the streaming platforms or anything. But the song Butterfly off that record, like that's one of the very first songs I ever like taught myself to play on drums when I was like 13 years old. So like that one hits really close to home for me. And I just thought it'd be cool to add them into this list because it's such a deep cut kind of a band.
Yeah, Reveille. I've got their CD. Their more popular one. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere. Bleed the Sky.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The song Unborn. That's the first song. Or no. Yeah, the first song on the record.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's somewhere behind me. I'm just too lazy to get up and look at it. But yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like I've got all these CDs sitting in my house that I could put in and they would sound better. But instead I just get on the computer and pull up Spotify and it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that CD. I actually had a CD booklet. It's like 100 or 150 CD booklet in my old band for the Fallen Dreams. I had like 7 Angels, 7 Plagues, Jasmine, Lullaby, like the CD, the booklet, everything. Like the Misery Signals EP, Zao or Blood and all these old classic physical copies stolen out of the band. Never see them again. I had like a burned copy of the pre-pro demos of Malice in the Magnum Heart. Someone in like 2003 in a local band that I played with was like, I have new Misery Signals if you want it. I was like, yeah. And I saw it, and I'll just never hear them again, and they're gone forever.
I had something similar like that happened to me. I was working a double at a job. I only had 5 people working with me all day. And someone stole my iPod Classic that had like when you could just download music off MySpace. So like I was able to find demos and like pre-pro stuff on MySpace, but it's like how I got there and found those songs. It was like, oh, I was, couldn't sleep one night. And then I just was page hopping. And then I found something I liked and then I downloaded it. And it's like, I have no idea who it was, how I found it. I could never retrace my steps to get there. And so like, I look back and like when people were like, I was actually, I don't know if anyone saw that video, and maybe it was Dan that posted it, where someone's making iPod classics.
Yeah,
with, like, information on it, but like they're like $800. But it was one of those things. Mine. Yeah, but it was one of those that as a result of that, I was like, man, I miss mine because there is so much cool shit that like I'll just never be able to find because of that. And I got real sad and I was like, that sucks. But
Yep.
Yeah, I have a Zune that is the same way. I can't get it to power on, but it's got stuff on there that's like irreplaceable. Like it's, I'll never get some of that stuff back. And it's like, because there was a time where there was another dude singing for Zao, and they were going to release a new album with this dude, and they had a whole bunch of demo songs, and like with this dude on vocals, and like so I have those songs on the Zune, but now like it's like they don't exist. Like you can't find them anywhere. And like I thought it was kind of cool,
It's seriously heartbreaking. We should have had MP3 player contingency plans. Like who would have thought?
So should record labels.
Yeah, man. Some of that stuff never get back.
John, I almost bought one of those iPods, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
They were like $400. But then I was like, dude, I could just drop. So I went to Best Buy and spent like $30 and got like a 512 gigabyte micro SD card and just threw it in my phone. And what's ridiculous too is that like I had 512 gigs and I still had to make hard choices on what I was going to include and not include. And here's what's dumb. I was just like, man, I really want to put this record on, but I'm running out of space. 512 gigs. I have a problem. So I right clicked on my music folder on my computer, and dude, I've got 2 terabytes of music.
That's sick.
Some weird like well, it's like I do music. I've been doing music journalism for like probably 15 years now. So like I've got so much stuff in there, like albums that were not even released. Like a band would record an entire album, then either the label wouldn't like it and they would shelve them or whatever it was, but they still sent out promo releases and stuff. And so like it's very strange. Yeah, that just happened right there on right there live. But yeah, it's very strange the amount of stuff that's out there and how much of a collection somebody can amass over like 15, 20 years. And I was just surprised that like in 2020, I still have the same problem I had back in 2004. I can't fit it all on the device that I have.
Yeah, John, you're gonna have to send me the link to this iPod thing. I'm curious. I want to see what you're.
Yeah, so like basically what it is a guy took an iPod. Yeah, a guy overseas took an iPod and he basically replaced. So like all the iPods were it was a hard drive with a screen.
Yeah,
you know, and like a basic graphical user interface. But like this guy took like a 2 or 4 terabyte solid state drive and put it into the iPod
case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
And like with that kind of fidelity, like you could just drop like straight lossless files on there. Like I'm not like that hardcore of a audiophile. Like I'm not gonna like listen to lossless files, but like I mean, I could see that being like for the music enthusiast. Can you imagine having every single song you've ever heard on one device?
I'd be terrified to lose it.
Oh yeah, well there's that too.
Or something goes wrong with it, like it just fries out, and it's just like that's it, it's done.
Yeah, as an adult, I would never even let it leave the house, which would completely defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
Dan, what's another one of your honorable mentions?
Oh, okay. So we're okay. Yeah, sorry, we're still doing this. I only gave one, didn't I? Okay, so let's. I'm gonna give a good shout out to my buddy Joshua Toomey of the Talk To Me podcast.
Primer 55.
This life.
Yes, these fuckers
Dude, that song is so
well, yeah, okay. Loose.
Yeah, but this life is way better song. God.
Loose is fantastic. This life is better.
It's a way better. That's a way better hook on that song. Well, I was really excited for that record when it came out based off of that single because I was like, and this sounds shitty to say this, but it's like, I feel like the evolution of songwriting from especially like the hook and the chorus aspect, it's like, okay, watch these fuckers jump when I get loose. Okay, whatever. But lyrically, this life, I feel like went somewhere and was telling an actual story.
It was about domestic abuse. Yeah. And like what I loved about that song too is that like, so I loved the first Primer 55 record, like Loose, the Big FU, you know, like those were all classics. But like with This Life, it was the first time I had really heard Jason like actually sing, like melodic sing, and he was good. And then he would scream, and it just like it was put together so well. Like it's a much more commercialized version of Primer 55. And the only thing that hurt that record was the time that it came out, because I think it came out in like 2001, like right after 9/11. And it seems like the public consciousness of nu metal basically disappeared after that. Like after 9/11, if you weren't POD, nobody was listening to you. John getting us demonetized again.
But I mean, like, this is a way better songwriting.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's definitely more mature sounding.
Yeah, and maybe that's like the thing that people didn't want from their new metal was them to grow up and get more mature. God, what a hook! Someone to break you down every motherfucking day. It's not the life you wanted.
It's kind of like Papa Roach.
Yeah. Yeah, such a criminally underrated song, I think, from that band.
Well, they still play it, dude, on my local alternative rock station here in St. Louis. They still play This Life all the time.
Wow, that's sick.
It's edited, of course. So, you know, at the end where he's like, someone to break you down every motherfucking day. He, in the radio edit, he's like, someone to break you down and it never goes away. Like, it would end. And I got to give it credit. If you're going to censor a song, censor it with different lyrics. Don't just throw a beep over it.
Or just warble it. Yeah, that's cuff. When they reverse the word fuck and it's like cuff.
Yeah, somebody break you down every mother offen day. Yeah.
Mother offen. Yeah.
Yeah. They did that. It's funny. My copy of Mudvayne's LD50 is edited, and it's weird. after, because like I think I bought it at Walmart. Like I didn't know until I got home, but like
edited.
Whatever, man. They didn't edit that bass, so and that's what I was there for. Yeah, I was there for that bass, so you know it was fine.
I may or may not have the Rhino bass right here. I'm just kidding. It's not. Well, that would have been a sick plot twist, huh?
That would have been
amazing.
Here's something new about me
and you. My honorable mention, and I forgot until about 20 minutes ago that you guys did this.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah, I'm gonna take full credit too. This was my idea. I remember they approached us about doing something. And 90s alternative. 90s alternative is one of my favorite genres, like Goo Goo Dolls, Jim Blossoms, all that stuff. But I was like, we should do Southtown by POD, and everyone's like, yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's so funny. Like, I mean, you guys didn't quite have like the stops in the riff like the riff does. But
sorry, John.
Well, no,
wow,
John.
Sorry.
I was actually trying to learn this on guitar earlier, and I was like, you guys don't like stop on the riff like it does in the actual song, but I feel like it gives it a little bit more bounce.
Not everybody's Marcos, John.
Not as good, yeah. I love him too. He's a good dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool, dude. Like,
yeah, what a track.
I did like your version though. I did.
I also really like the fact that like they Woob's wearing a Zayo tank top and Trey is wearing a Blindside t-shirt.
Blindside, yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, like it's so cool to see like those dudes into like two completely different bands of that era.
Well, nobody knew what was going to happen, man. Like at that time, I mean, POD and Blindside, and even Project 86, although Project 86's music never really caught on with the mainstream because I think they were a little bit too like cerebral. You know, they didn't write relatable songs necessarily. But like, I think it's weird because that's whenever like quote unquote Christian music like really, really took off. But like, who could have predicted like the Christian metalcore thing that took place? You know, where like I remember like people are like, what kind of music you like? And I was like, I like metalcore. This was probably like 2004. And they're like, oh, and I was like, it's the weirdest genre of heavy music ever, and that 78% of the bands are Christian. You know, like
Tooth and Nail, Solid State, all that stuff. I was on that train as well.
Oh, dude, we all lived
in that exact year. Yeah.
Yep.
I still love it. All those bands.
There's definitely a band that era. Speaking of trains that I wanted to include on mine, but I can't because they're canceled.
What, Norma Jean?
No.
Oh.
I said train. That's the only key word I'll give
you. Is train canceled?
No.
The band Train.
My friend is actually the drummer of Train now.
When are we going to do a Train podcast on our heavy music focused podcast? Yeah.
Actually, we could probably get Matt to come in and talk about that because he, I was like, it's so weird because I was thinking about it the other day because a Train song came on. And I was like, I know someone in this band now.
Dude, it was like when you interviewed the dude from Buck Cherry, and I was like, I remember being like, what is this podcast? Like, it was like, what am I doing here? I think we didn't get in trouble with the management on that one, did we? Because I remember being like,
no, that was the Joe from Joey Gonzalez from Phil and Samo.
Oh yeah, I
got in trouble. That was the one I woke up to an email the next day. It's like, you need to like take some of this stuff out, and I'm like, it's too late.
Dude, that's weird too because there's like so many episodes that I've dropped stuff, like dropped weird things in there. Like, what was the Cradle of Filth one when you're like, Dan, how would you feel about a new Cradle of Filth record? And I was like, I would rather have a new Cradle of Filth record than see blood in my urine. You know, like one of those. And the Buck Cherry one was like, I don't know. I remember you saying something.
You're like, oh, well.
I was like, I'm all about
podcast.
selling out, man. I'm doing a podcast about Buck Cherry right now.
That dude was cool though. He was wearing I think he was wearing a Death Row shirt. Like I was wearing I think I was wearing my NW or Bone Thug shirt, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm wearing my Death Row Records thing." So I was like, "Cool, to rock."
So he knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, he gets jiggy with it.
You sometimes assume that like people that are in certain bands, well, it's weird, right? So like you kind of assume that people that are in certain bands like aren't woke, or that you associate them with a certain time period. And I think sometimes you like forget that like they've lived an entire life just like you have. You know what I mean? Like, like they probably know a lot more about certain things than you do in your 2020 woke status or whatever.
No.
Nope. Yeah. No one's more woke than me.
Unless you're John. John's the wokest of them all. Yeah.
I just invited someone from a signed band on who did a cover of something and told them how it didn't sound like the original. That's the whole reason.
Yeah, you guys didn't do the stops right. It's like, oh, well, fuck me, huh? Thanks, John.
More like pop doesn't go punk.
There it is.
All right. What the hell?
BRB.
Yeah.
So
don't start without me.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Andrew and I are going to have to go. So actually, here's a fun tangent until Dan comes back. For those watching and or listening down the road when we post the audio of this, Andrew and I have been going on all day about our apparently favorite movie, Haggard, the Bam Margera movie. And
yes.
I feel like I need to do some kind of a watch party or something and just basically spend the whole movie quoting it while I'm watching it for people to watch with me.
Yeah, it might be a little not 2020 friendly, but it's...
Dude,
it's,
look at her.
She's
in a coffee shop alone. She's trying to get ass. She's just trying to get
ass. Oh man, when he's when he's like when Ryan Dunn's like seeing things and he goes, oh, there's gonna be a fucking fiver in here. There's gotta be a fucking fiver in here somewhere.
Lord Bitaro. Yeah. And then you just hear that like as he's fingering his wallet.
Yep.
What is this?
Oh man,
the reverse mic. Oh, what the fuck? Reverse microwave. I already invented that shit. Like,
yeah. Pizza to hot, burn through your mouth.
Come on. That shit's for 11-year-olds.
Yep. No, I'm not in third grade. Oh man, the part when Phil just walks by, smashes him with a watermelon, he goes, "You picked the wrong motherfucker to fuck with." And then that guy's just going like, oh dude, what is going on?
My other favorite too is, and it's such a throwaway scene, is when they're putting shit on the garage door, and then they like slap it on the garage door, and then a car goes by, they stop, and their hands aren't on it, and it just stays there, and they're like, "All right, tape it on." Oh no, and then he just goes, "All right, tape it on." Oh, masterpiece, that's my hand.
Yeah, he goes here. He goes like this. Here, use this fucking duct tape.
Smear the shit locks all over. I'm gonna superize. I'm gonna superize from upstairs. Superize, yeah, get a better view. Hey,
I think that might be what I watched to fall asleep tonight.
Pussy, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, pussy. Yeah. What a film right there.
Naked Dave, he's a true player. He puts his hand up and the ladies surround him.
You ever feel a cold breeze slap against your cock and balls?
What you need to do is go behind Wawa, burn some wood, dig a hole, burn some wood, sort some shit out. How far do I dig?
What do I do when all the woods burn up? This doesn't make any sense.
And then Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk is the best. Hey, I didn't get a call about someone back here pissing.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a fun time. I might have to just fall asleep watching that tonight.
It is such a stupid movie.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
Dan, have you ever seen Haggard?
No.
Oh man.
I watch cartoons now, dude. I have kids.
Have you seen Hags? I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't watched it. No.
Okay.
It's both. That's on YouTube as well, though.
Yeah, I bet it's.
I think I tried watching it and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Haggard is amazing, though.
Oh, it's So good.
So what do we have? We have one more honorable.
One
Yep,
more.
we'll have one more. So one more round.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna do "What Comes Around" by El Nino.
Ooh, man.
And yeah, like didn't you have Christian on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
We
kind
haven't
of
aired
recently.
it. We haven't aired it, but like we've had him on, and then we did a live
I
thing.
think
with
you did
him.
a live. Yeah,
we were supposed to do one of these with him, and he's just been like MIA lately.
Yeah, I made friends with Diego and Christian. Ghost Inside played several festivals with El Nino over the years, and first time we played with him was actually Limp Bizkit headlined. El Nino was direct support. We played earlier in the day, but I like looked over.
What festival is this?
How does
It was
those?
in Germany.
Oh,
It was in
that
Germany.
makes sense. That makes sense.
It was a Europe summer festival run, and yeah, I looked over and I saw this big dude with dreadlocks, like all the way, just super long dreadlocks, and I was like, I bet he's an El Nino.
That's
So,
him. Yeah.
After we played, I went up and I sweated him. If Diego's watching, he's probably laughing about this because it's just funny now. But yeah, he's like, I was like, dude, I fucking love him, man. You know, I did that whole thing, and he's like, well, I listen to you guys in the gym and shit, and just like, I was like, what? That was like one of these moments I had where I was like, what? If you would have told 13-year-old Andy if that the guys in El Nino was listening to his band, and I got to watch him that night too. It was just it was one of these pinnacle moments for me. And that record though, Revolution record is so sick. I think like a good front to backer.
Oh yeah. It's perfect. It's a perfect record. 10 out of 10. Would buy again.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so good, dude. Yeah. I just picked that. That's like the single off the record, but it's probably the most, pop structured one, but it's just super catchy. It's heavy, but man, I Am Loco, God Save Us, Unreal.
You Still Hate Me.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
No, Tiamo was on the next record, John. Get with it.
Tear Out Your Eyes or Rip Out Your Eyes? One of them.
Rip Out Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Even the song Revolution, like that fat riff that they just drop on that song, like,
dude, yeah. So
that cover
so
they
sick.
did on
Rumba, yep. Love that record. Yeah. So
actually,
I had to throw them in there.
I had a very similar moment happen to me the other day because this person's going to be involved with my friends for the Nomads charity auction. But I had Dave from Ex Papa Roach call me while I was coming back from the beach, and I just looked at my phone and I was like, I'm not going to answer this. And then I looked and I saw it was him. I was like, huh. Put it on speaker, and then we handled our shit. And then I hung up and I just looked at my wife and I go, 14-year-old me would have been like, holy shit, the drummer of Papa Roach just called you.
Yeah. I've had so many of those moments over the last years with I even one with Jacoby like that. Somehow became friends with Jacoby as well. And had these moments of I just hung out with it's just mind blowing shit that I would have never thought. And if you would have told, young me, I would have been like, fuck no way. You're lying,
Dan, what's your last honorable mention?
Well, I mean, I was going to pick an El Nino song, but now I feel like I can't.
Damn, I swooped in.
Yeah, it's 22. I'm hoping to try to get Christian on my other podcast, but he probably went back and listened to our El Nino discography discussion and was like, "Yeah, I'm not
positive about it.
I'm not talking to these guys." Well, that's the hardest, dude. That's the hardest part about doing that podcast because we're super objective. We're this record was trash compared to this record, or this was whatever. Well, just opinionated a-holes on the internet. You know what I mean? It's just is what it is. And and then as the podcast got more popular, we started getting opportunities to talk to the people, and I'm like, I don't know if I want them to hear what I said about such and such.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna probably stick with Mudvayne for mine. And my favorite Mudvayne song ever is actually not on LD50. It's called "Perversion of a Truth."
Dude, such a great record.
Off of The End of All Things to Come. Because The End of All Things to Come. Okay, don't get me wrong. LD50 is incredible from a technical standpoint. But The End of All Things to Come they kind of reined it in a little bit better. Like they're still like super techie, like, hey, I just did this because I can kind of stuff going on. But like Perversion of a Truth, I just love because like Chad's like trading off with himself a lot on that song, and I just can't get past it, man. Like I love Chad singing like melodic vocal, and that song is just straight up like just excuse me. It's just Chad like just being super 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 smooth. And again, I really like slow build songs. I like songs that are kind of slow burns, you know.
Oh yeah.
And
like
so like
Prosthetics, Slipknot.
yeah,
kind of those mid end of the record tracks, isn't that? Then that's the record with Not Falling on it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to listen to it again. It's been so long since I've listened to that one.
It's so good. Like it's not as technical as LD50, but it is really good. And it was really hard to pick Perversion of a Truth, but I just like that one a little bit more. But there's another song on there called World So Cold. And since John's gone, I can just go off script here. But like World So Cold is
It's
like
a great song.
World So Cold is incredible because, like, again, it's a slow build where he starts off just really in passion, you know, like he's really, really into it. But by the end, he's dropping motherfucker, you know, like he's screaming. Like by the end of the song, he's like screaming and going nuts, and it's probably like it was really hard to pick one over the other. But like I love both of those songs so much. Perversion, Scrying is good. The Patient Mental. Like, oh my god, there's a lyric where he goes in there. He's like, I'm just like a clock upon the wall, always moving but never going anywhere. You know, like, oh my god, like that still gives me chills when I hear it. Even though it's like I've heard better lyrics before, but like I can't remember when I'm listening to that song.
Yeah, and then we pissed the guitar player off.
Yeah, we did, John. You were like, so so John has Greg from Mudvayne on the show, right?
By the way, hold on. Let me preface. I turned the interview down 4 times.
Hey, David Bunton from the Showdown just commented the new Ghost Inside is heavier than Thou. I agree.
The Showdown? No,
not the Showdown.
Yeah, the Showdown.
I mean, they are. I have
like the band, The Showdown is what you're saying.
The band, The Showdown, yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I used to love that record. That first record.
Chorus of Obliteration.
What was the one?
Oh my god!
Oh wow! Did I mosh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then AJ from Silly joined the band.
I moshed. Yeah, right. I just talked to TJ last week. He was high as all get out. But yeah, like anyway, but like it's dude, sorry. I just get super stoked every time David Bunton says anything. But like it's one of those like it's definitely one of those. What were we even talking about?
You were talking about Mudvayne.
Right, Mudvayne.
Honorable mention.
Oh yeah. So it was Perversion of a Truth, like for sure. But like the oh my god. Yeah, and it's funny because I hated everything from Mudvayne after that. But like but yeah, anyway, sorry. That my honorable mention is that whole record. I picked an original song, one song originally, but like it's that whole record. It's like the whole package, like 110%.
All right, I'm gonna go way the fuck out on this one.
Of course you are.
Crossbreed underlined.
Crossbreed, really? We're busting that. We're opening that scab up. Okay.
Dude, that band had like I thought they were gonna be like so big with like their look, and like they had like really strong choruses and stuff like that, and like good lyrics, and a good, like I said, good look. They just I don't know what the fuck happened. They just never made it. Like I remember seeing, back in the days of MTVX, I remember seeing that Underline video like so much, and I went out and bought this CD for like $5 because like no one gave a fuck about it. It was on like Miss Records, which I think they only put out $5 CDs anyway.
Dude, did you have Kazaa back in the day? Like,
no.
Okay.
I bought CDs.
All right.
I mean,
you missed out.
Mr. Holier Than Thou.
You missed out on Please Remain Seated since you didn't have Kazaa, whatever it is.
LimeWire, Napster. I had all of it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, SoulSeek
There were a
still
few
works.
others.
You remember SoulSeek?
SoulSeek. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That still exists. You can still totally pirate music on SoulSeek if you have no soul. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine pirating a band's new record on SoulSeek like during COVID when they can't even tour and sell shirts or anything? Like that's horrible.
I kind of want to try it just to see if I can pull it off.
Oh, you can.
I'm gonna try it with our record.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I probably could find. All right, yeah, I'm gonna take that as a personal mission. I'll let you know what the results are.
I love it.
I know what I'm doing after this stream.
I know John's frozen as hell on my screen. I don't know about yours.
Well, since John's gone, that was the funniest thing. So, like, whenever I first heard the new Ghost Inside record, I heard it like probably 2 months before it came out or a month before it came out. And John sent it to me in my email and he was like, "You cannot tell anybody that you've heard this."
What was it?
And I'm like, the new Ghost Inside record.
No, I didn't send you that. I don't even have it.
No, we had it. I got it.
Not from me.
Not on SoulSeek. I got it.
Not from SoulSeek.
I got it from one of the. No, I have like a legit. I have a legit like copy of it, like promo copy.
Oh.
It might have been the other, but dude, I do like 15.
Oh, so you're asking.
I do like
asking court.
I do like 50. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm thinking 15 million in damages. Like it really hurt. It really hurt my feelings. But I remember like whoever sent it to me was all like, yeah, you cannot tell anybody that you have this. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to tell people now. And then so like as songs started getting released, I was like, everybody was all like, "Oh my god, do you think this record's going to be good?" And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah. Yeah.
You wanted to talk about it so bad, huh?
Well, it's weird. So like when we did the discography discussion on the Ghost Inside, I had to like really keep a tight lip and just be like, "Yeah. Yep, okay, we're done. We're at the end of their releases. We're done talking now. Like it's okay. Don't worry about it." You know, and
so
like
this was before the new record came out. When
it was
the discography. Yeah,
very shortly before the record came out. Yeah,
okay.
It's so funny too because people are always like, "Did you know that they were putting a record out?" And I'm like, "No. Who have you been talking to? You know, like who do you know?" You know.
Well, I remember like
That's
it was
awesome.
kind of weird because like I asked you, I was like, "Should I keep that part in?" We are like, "Oh, we're gonna go listen to the new Ghost Inside record when we're done with this." And I was like, "You want me to leave that in or no?"
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, "I don't care," and I was like, "People know it's coming," and I was like, "Okay." But it was kind of weird because you're like, "Yeah, I just got the final mixes like today." So like I was telling Dan like when I was going home, I was like, so I sat in the room, like obviously you've heard the songs, but I was like, I heard the final mixes with, you know, Andrew sitting in his like home office, and it's like cranked way the fuck up.
Yeah, I wanted to destroy our hearing.
Yeah,
I was
clearly.
just so geeked.
But like that's a weird thing for me, like where I was like, I know that may not be like it was kind of weird sitting in there with you because I was just kind of like you're listening, like okay, like objectively, like trying to hear like your final mixes, like okay, like maybe these are some.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
and then like the hard part.
Yeah, like I literally.
Go
ahead.
I love live so much.
Yeah.
I love Lamp.
Okay, well you're. Yeah. I love Lamp. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, that was like I literally had gotten. I think I got the final mixes that morning. So that was like I like couldn't wait to hear because you had come over, we did our thing, and I was like I like want to listen to it now. Like, so I just had you come in here with me, and yeah, that was we were pretty much listening to the final mixes at the same time.
Yeah, and like what was interesting is like I was like I always feel bad when people like not necessarily ask me to like to listen to something, but like when I'm listening to something, because like I'll just make comments about something where like I forget the song it was. I think it was the first track, and it's really weird you guys did this on the chorus and the pre-chorus going into the chorus because like you would expect it to be the vocally be flipped, and you were like, yeah, Will kind of came over, like because we actually did do it the way you said, and so it was kind of weird. Like I'm picking out things and like, oh, that's kind of interesting, like how that's going, and da 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 da. And we're just like talking about a record that I've never heard, but I'm talking about it with you, and like you're all soaked. And you're like, yeah, so like we did this, and then like we got voice.
But it was more like we were. Yeah, no, it was like we had to like scream over how loud I had it in here. Yeah, after I regret listening to it as loud as we did that day. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
I almost wanted. I at one point I was almost like, I just want to like go grab the microphones, turn it on, and then just be like, let's record a future track by track commentary on this.
Yeah. Man.
Because I feel like that'd be so weird. Like you're listening to it for the first time as the final mixes, so you're like, oh, this part sounds really cool now, and like I'm listening to it for the first time completely. So it'd be really interesting just to be like, so anyway,
right, just screaming into a microphone.
That's like the other hard one too. And I felt like such a dick when I fucking sent you the video link to the new Misery Signal song, and you're like, I already have the record. I was like, what the fuck, man? I thought we were friends.
That's another one that, like, you know, people are like, so what do you think?
I don't know if I was supposed to say that.
Yeah, that was another one. Okay. That was another one where, like, you know, we're listening to that record and everybody's like, do you think the new Misery Signal is going to be as good as the old Misery Signals? And I was like, yeah, I think so. You know, like it was one of those like I'm so bad at keeping secrets. Like nobody should ever send me anything in advance because I'm just like, yeah. It's like I'm like sweating. Like no,
you're like that Key and Peele, the Key and Peele thing where it's just
sweating. Yeah, dude. Like whenever you sent me that Testament record when it came out, Titans of Creation, and I think I don't know what was worse, knowing about that record before it came out, or the fact that you made me talk to Chuck Billy from Testament alone for like, what was it, like 20 minutes? Because I got so nervous that I cut the interview off within 20 minutes. Because like, dude, I've been listening to that dude since I was 7. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to have an objective conversation?
You do what I do. You do what I did when I was. Well, I didn't know I was going to talk to him, but like I went to, and this only makes sense to maybe Andrew. I went to Mulligan's because I didn't have anything planned. Emailed, it's like, hey, can you talk to Brian in 20 minutes? I'm like, I've been drinking for 4 hours. I'm like way fucked up. Yes, I am in the perfect mindset to go talk to him because I'm not going to be nervous. And because like so many people have been like, oh, that was such a great interview you did. And I was like, dude, I was like half in the bag at least when I talked to him, and they're like, couldn't even tell. And I was like, yep.
Dude, and at the end, I could tell because at the end of that,
at the end, yes, I fanboyed out at the end.
Mr. Welch, sir, your records meant so much to me. Like all of them. Well, like which one specifically? All of them. They were just like, I mean, like it
that
was
Korn
just like,
Slipknot demo you guys did on Kazaa was so great. I loved it.
Yeah, it changed my life, man. Like it inspired me to start this show. Like, yeah, like I mean, and I did the same thing, dude. Talking to Chuck Billy, I was like, you know, yeah, your stuff is really, 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 really great. But I chickened out. Because after I did that, because after I did that, dude, I cut that interview to like 10 minutes before I stopped talking to Chuck.
Dan sends me a text because he goes, I go, you're all set and all squared away. And he goes, yup. And I knew he had 30 minutes with him. 21 minutes later, I'm all done with Chuck. And I was like, you have 9 more minutes. He goes, yeah, I couldn't.
But I did. I mean, I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, I have all of your records on vinyl, and I think you're great. I'm sorry that you caught COVID, and I think it's fine because like I love Testament like most people love Metallica. So like if you can imagine like talking to James Hetfield or something like that level of like, yeah, maybe Testament's not as popular as Metallica, but to me, it was like outrageously huge. And I was doing this interview in 97-degree weather in my work break room that had no air conditioning at all. And I'm just like, hey, cool, man. So tell me about this new record that I totally haven't heard yet. Yeah, like it was. I think I told him on the interview. That I like listened to it like 12 times or something.
Well, A Monument Encased in Ash. That's the name of the Showdown song. That's the Showdown song.
Oh yeah, dude.
I just remembered it right now.
Fire rains from the sky. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
All
got
right,
that CD somewhere.
Last question. We'll end it on this.
Last question. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured. Well, Hank's quiet now, but still.
Okay. It's
I
fair.
don't know. I
Go ahead.
always feel bad.
Yeah.
I always feel bad when I keep people that long. Plus, I know Andrew's gonna go watch Haggard, and we're gonna be a nice couple and text about Haggard quotes.
Yeah, or I might play Warzone. I don't know.
I need to get that.
I might be playing Warzone also. What do you play on?
Xbox.
I play on PC, but I think it's cross-platform. So
it is. It is. Yeah.
If you ever get annihilated by Disgust Metal Dan, then you must suck at the game because I'm terrible. I don't think
PC has an advantage for sure. Mouse and keyboard is the way to play video games. I know. I know.
I like
controller.
I just bought a because like my boss is like really hardcore into Warzone, and so we play every now and again, and like I just bought a new monitor for my computer that's like 144 hertz refresh rate, and he's sitting there at like 60 hertz. So I was like, dude, here's the thing, I can see you and shoot you before you can even aim down sights or notice that I'm there. Like it's totally broken and unfair, but here we are.
Well, have you played since they opened up Stadium and all the shit?
Did you play a little bit? Well, okay, no. So here's the deal. I signed into the game the other day, and they're like, you have to do an update because that's just the way things are with Call of Duty now. And I sign in, and it's like 98, or it's like 1 gigabyte of 97 gigabytes downloaded. And I was like, I guess I'm going to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I haven't played with those updates installed yet, but I mean they're there. So if as long as they haven't rolled another one out since then, I should be okay.
No, they opened up Stadium, they opened up Train Station, and now there's an actual train going around Verdansk, and it's super fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'll just check that out.
Yeah.
All right, what's your final question, John?
What is your favorite nu metal soundtrack? Because you know all these fucking.
Hey, I'm glad you asked me that. Shit, man. Okay, when I get put on the spot, man, it's hard for me. But I think I'm just gonna spit this out, dude. Okay. Dracula 2000.
Metro.
I hate you so much right now. That's what I was gonna pick.
Yeah, dude. It's got Slayer, Bloodline. Wow, yeah, what a fucking goddamn! That might
kill be my you and your song. Dreams tonight.
Oh. Good new light. Good riff.
It's got Taproot Day by Day on it.
Boom boom man,
and like Steven's still rapping on that. Like it's like the most old Taproot you can get.
Otsego Undead Static X is on that.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on there? Monster Magnet.
There's like a Disturbed B-side on there.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was really cool. Yeah, let's see. Monster Magnet, System of a Down was on it.
Yeah, the Metro cover. That's such a good one, dude.
Dude, that's one of my favorite songs to play guitar recently.
Oh my god, like that soundtrack is
riding on the Metro.
That soundtrack is flawless.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's just crazy. Because you asked that, and it's funny because I wanted to post Day by Day Taproot in my stories, and it wasn't. I couldn't find it on Instagram Music. So that's when I was like listening. I went back and I was like, oh, remember Bloodline and remember Otsego Undead and all those. So yeah, it's funny you asked about nu metal soundtracks because I don't know if I could think of one off the top of my head even right now.
Well, Taproot. They just released Day by Day like on Spotify as like a single.
Yes, because I listened to it on Spotify and I saw there's like weird cover art for it.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, I got super upset too because
here is the track listing: Ultra Mega by Power Man 5000, A Warm Burden by Disturbed, Bloodline by Slayer, Metro by System of a Down, Heads Explodes by Monster Magnet, Break You Down Godhead featuring Marilyn Manson.
Right.
Forgot about that
Step
one.
Closer, Linkin Park, Avoid the Light, Pantera, great fucking song. We already talked about that. Swan Dive by Head PE, Day by Day by
I forgot about Swan Dive. Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Here's another one I almost put on my list today. Malice by Endo.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Blind World by Flybanger. Sober
Yeah.
by Half Cocked and Saliva, Your Disease.
Oh, Saliva too. Yeah, man, Head PE, huh? How about Waiting to Die? That song.
Oh. Yeah, dude.
I'm a hitman. I'm a stalker. I'm a soldier. I'm a streetwalker. Fuck you. Yeah.
Man, John, you already said Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned would have been mine, other than Dracula 2000.
Wow. What's
Queen-
on Queen of the Damned?
Well,
What's that track listing?
So the Queen of the Damned soundtrack was kind of interesting because you had all those songs that Jonathan Davis is doing in the movie, and then basically the ended up being redone with other people. So it not meant for me with redone with Wayne Static of Static X.
Wayne Static, yeah.
Forsaken with David Draymond, System with Chester Bennington,
Change.
Redeemer with Marilyn Manson. Yep, yeah. Change in the House of Flies. Yeah, Dead Cell by Papa Roach. Penetrate by Godhead. Slept So Long by Jay Gordon, with Jay Gordon, I should say. Down with the Sickness. Cold, the remix version or remastered or whatever by Static X, which I love that version better because the chorus hits a lot bigger. Here's another great one, Headstrong by Earshot. Then Dry Cell. Then Tricky featuring Alanis Morissette, which was interesting because you're kind of in that trip hop vibe now. Yeah. And then the weird thing is, and like being an Aaliyah fan, the thing that was like really interesting to me that I'm surprised never happened was Aaliyah doing anything with anyone to kind of be, and this was one of the other, it's not a soundtrack per se, but is one of the other like new metal like things I was thinking of, which is the Hard and the Heavy, if you remember that compilation.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it had the that was where the Incubus Big Pun cover came of Still Not a Player was on.
I don't want to be a player no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, such an influential time for, I think, for all of us, especially either as music fans or as musicians.
Well, the first 3 or 4 tracks are like the actual songs from the movie.
Yeah.
And in the movie, John Davis sang the songs. But for some reason, like there was some sort of like record label drama or something associated with it. So he had his friends come and sing the songs.
Yeah.
So like you had a song sung by Wayne Static, one by Chester Bennington, one by David Draymond, one by Jay Gordon. And Jay Gordon, who likes to do interviews while he's picking his kids up from soccer practice. Yeah, sure. So like it's cool. Like it's I actually enjoy the songs on the CD by the different artists more than I enjoy the original John Davis tracks, which I know is like blasphemy, but I don't care.
And I think the last one would have been Freddy versus Jason, but that started getting into the whole.
That was my pick.
It was like new metal melting in with metalcore.
Yeah,
dude. Listen. How Can I Live, El Nino?
Yep.
What a banger! It literally is the fight scene.
Yep.
When darkness falls, kill switch engage.
First time you hear
Spine Shake.
First time you heard Howard. Yeah.
Yep. Spine Shank. Beginning of the end. Mushroom Head. Hate Breed.
Yep.
Slipknot. The Snap. It's 97 demo. One more time and I'm gonna snap. One more time and that for some reason. Crazy.
I don't remember hearing any of those songs during the movie.
I don't either. I think it's just
the credits.
Yeah. Army of Me by Chimera. Yep. From Autumn to Ashes. Seven Dust. Yep. Power Man 5000. Murder Dolls. Seether. Stone Sour. Devil Driver. Sepultura featuring Mike Patton. The Blank Theory. Nothing Face. In Flames. Lamb of God. 11th Hour. Wow. And Typo Negative.
Yeah.
20 tracks.
That's the record.
Was it a double disc?
No, it was on one CD.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I still have it, but like it was that's the soundtrack where you're like, am I just gonna stick with new metal for the rest of my life, or am I gonna see what else is out there? That soundtrack really does it for you, because like, can you imagine like the heaviest thing you've ever heard is like some Stain songs off of Dysfunction, and then all of a sudden you're thrown in and you're listening to like Chimera,
Lamb of God. Wow.
In Flames, like that stuff.
Hate Breed.
Yeah, Hate Breed. Like that, even From Autumn to Ashes, because I remember like really loving that From Autumn to Ashes song, and my friends being like, hey, is something wrong with you? Because I was like, what do you mean? They're like, well, I mean, I like the screaming guy on that, but then there's the guy that sings like real high pitched and annoying. And I was like, oh, just get ready, man. Every band's going to sound like that in about 2 years. Like you just
it's quite a stacked soundtrack. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the weird thing is like I feel like that's what's missing now is like the sync opportunities. Like you talked about earlier about listening to something from the video game samplers, and like that doesn't exist. And like I pre-ordered the remaster version of Tony Hawk 1 and 2 that should be out like in a couple of weeks at this point. And it's cool to see like the original on there, but they're including some new stuff too. And it's just like I don't feel like those opportunities exist anymore for bands to have sync opportunities in movies and or on video game soundtracks.
Yeah, they don't really exist.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love if Ghost Inside could get on Tony Hawk soundtrack somehow. When they first announced that, I was like, oh, that'd be sick to be on that. It'd just be like a little dream come true thing. Dude, Mission Impossible 2 is stacked as well.
Oh yeah,
holy shit.
that's a good one too. Yeah.
This song, it's like this song is for all the people that are still playing Tony Hawk in 2020.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Check it out.
Dude, I mean, take a look around, Limp Bizkit, the Mission Impossible song. What the fuck? That song is so good, dude.
It's killer. I mean, I remember the director of the movie like quoted like somebody was like, "Hey, we had Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit write this song for your movie," and his only response was, "Fred and the boys done it again." Like
so dope.
Yeah, like it really was like because that song is. I know what you want to hate me because hate is all the world has really even seen lately.
Oh wow, it hits so
and
hard.
Still relevant today. I mean, even if you take that movie out of that song, it's still right because, like I said, Fred is not like gifted with words, but you totally get where he's coming from. I listen to, it's weird. I listen to Limp Bizkit and like with modern ears, and I'm just like, Fred's not necessarily off base on this. You know what I mean? Like he's saying dumb things, and people are gonna take it the wrong way, but he's not wrong. Oh.
I mean, just the prophetic lyrics of there's 47 rhymes, 47 fucks in this fucked up rhyme. I mean, it just 2020 now.
But nobody's ever done
46 fucks in this fucked up rhyme, yeah.
But nobody's ever done that before. Nobody's ever done that before. He was he was a trendsetter.
There's so many soundtracks I forgot about. Bride of Chucky.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one too.
Chucky, yeah.
Shit. Remember the scene? Remember the scene in the movie where Thunder Kiss 65 comes on and Chucky's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Dude,
it's hilarious, dude. It's fucking so fun.
Scream 3 soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, dude, Creed.
Dude,
Creed. Yeah, fucking just ripping, dude.
Yeah, What If made me think when I heard What If Creed, I literally thought that Creed was a totally different type of band than they were.
They're still
dude, yeah. That one's a ripper, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, and I'm not a huge Creed supporter, but like Yeah, that had Fuel, it had Dope, Incubus, Coal Chamber, Godsmack, Seven Dust, Full Devil Jacket. You remember them?
Yeah, they were on do you remember the MTV Return of the Rock compilations?
I do. So.
Yeah, I remember Full Devil Jacket and Methods of Mayhem and all those bands on those. Actually, the second volume is the first time I heard Head PE, Waiting to Die. Look at all this. It's just all coming back to us, isn't it?
Well, what's interesting is that the version of Slipknot's Wait and Bleed is a different version than the album.
So Andrew and I were talking about that last night. I remember
that.
I go,
it's actually
7 different versions of that.
Well, it's like scaled down. Like in that one, Corey's just like he's more rapping. Because on the album, yeah.
Hey Ross, can you burn me with something real quick? I need some energy.
On the album, he's all like, "I can't believe this. I can't believe that." I don't remember what he said exactly, but like,
I can't control my shakes. How the hell did I get here? Something about this.
But on the Scream 3 soundtrack, he's just like, "How the hell did I get here? Something about this so very wrong." And I'm like, "Yeah, this kind of
I know that version.
This lacks the passion a little bit here, Like, what happened here? And like you listen to the album version, and he's like, you know, in the background of the like on the chorus, you can hear him like growling. I felt the head rise up, and you're like, man, like so that had like that Scream 3 version had to be like the first take that they did, and then like the next one was like the producers like standing there being like,
Corey, give me a
Scream.
Scream.
Don't think that you could step it up
Well, it's weird.
like a little bit on this one.
It's weird because Scream 3 came out in 2000. Self-titled Slipknot came out in 99.
But it's obvious that is an old take.
It's an old one. Yeah. Why would they do
like
that? That's weird.
Different versions of that song between like a radio edit.
Maybe the guy making the soundtrack was downloading the songs off Kazaa. I don't know.
Right. Also, Little Nicky soundtrack?
Yes.
Come on.
That cover,
oh my God, it is all coming back to me now.
Yeah, POD, Incubus, Deftones, Cypress Hill, Insolence, Linkin Park, Disturbed, Unloco, Powerman 5000, Muse, Filter, and Deftones again.
Yep.
That's a stacked one, dude. Punisher, Warzone, and hey, this goes back. This is going to touch on your, you know, the is Biohazard new metal-ish or not? Ramallah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Ramallah, Kill a Celebrity, dude.
Yeah.
Just take a look at the haters, like that song. And just a bunch of I fucking love Ramallah, but they kind of have that like
bounce,
that subtle like new metal bounce to it. Yeah, and that's dude.
Almost like you're gonna say Judgment Night soundtrack.
I don't know if I've listened to Foo's forbidden Little Nicky remix of Stupefy. I might have to YouTube that later because I want to hear how that's different than the original. Yeah, that's. Is it upsetting to anybody else that Disturbed's Dropping Plates never showed up on a compilation? I feel like that's like the ultimate like Disturbed song, and just because he's just like Disturbed in the house, dropping a little something for your ear holes. Like and it's funny because I look back at that song. And David Draymond has said in so many interviews, like, well, Disturbed was never like a rapcore band because we never rapped or we never did anything even close to rap. But if you go back and listen to The Sickness and you get to Dropping Plates, he's like, Disturbed in this house. And you know, like, it's obviously that. But like,
I know these are covers. The Take a Bite Out of Rhyme. That was like chock full of new metal bands.
Yeah.
They doing Bring the Noise by Public Enemy and Anthrax. And then you had Mindless Indulgence doing Method Man by the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah.
Fred
doing
Bring the Noise.
Did that one. And then Dynamite Hack obviously with the cover of Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E.
Oh hell yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna leave it on this because I'm TJ Miller's weed is kicking in. This is one of my favorite memes.
His dabs are kicking in?
No, they're not dabs. It's just edibles.
Speaking of that, when's my package coming in the mail?
What is that? Oh yeah, I saw this when it first. Whenever that, you know what? You might have sent it to me, dude.
I probably did.
Yeah, so sick, man. Huh?
I said, Dan, do you get this meme?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to play some N64?
Yeah, do you get the meme, though? Do you understand why it's funny?
I can do that right now. No, I don't get it. I can't really see it in the screen. Hold on, let me look at my bigger screen. No, I don't get it. I'm laughing like I do because I don't want to seem dumb.
964.
I get it. Okay. Yep. I
Yeah,
get jokes once they're explained to me.
Yeah, Nintendo, if you're watching, please put N64 games on Switch Online. Thank you. I want to play F-Zero X on Switch. Thank you.
Oh, I got something to show you. This is some super illegal stuff right here.
Oh, I'm so horny for it.
I know.
I push my wiener between my. I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me? That's perfect.
That's
okay.
One of my favorite.
So this is the N64 EverDrive 64.
Nope.
I have every Nintendo 64 game on this micro SD card.
That's just an emulator?
It's not an emulator because it plugs into a Nintendo 64.
What the actual?
100% compatibility. Yeah, like it's a real N64 cartridge.
Works like a charm?
Dude, everything works.
That's how much does that cost? Yeah.
Like $100.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna probably. You want to send me a link or whatever?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and get that. That's awesome. I don't even have my N64 anymore. But there's so many places around here that sell. I bought a PS2 recently. Well, like in February, I went and got a PS2.
Too.
Yeah,
bunch of games. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is. I have one of these for the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo, the Genesis, everything.
Dan, I'm gonna show this to you so you can at least laugh at this.
It is a money saver for sure. Nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I do the same. So,
well, this is also one of my other favorites.
What?
John Kruger Mellencamp.
What's wrong with you?
So one day I saw this pop up actually on my Facebook as a time hop, and it was me texting a friend, and I was like, "Oh, did you use your Kruger card?" And I go, "Fuck, Kroger card." Although if Kruger had a grocery store, I'm sure prices would be slashed in half too.
Oh, sick! Nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
All right.
No, we did 2 hours. Yeah, I'm like almost bedtime ready.
Yeah,
same. I'm getting like sleepy.
I got to be at work at 5 a.m. So yeah, there's that.
Well, Andrew, thank you for joining us for this. I'm sure we could have you come back and do a list of some sort.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down anytime.
Maybe we do. What's another fun, weird one that we could do? Maybe like guilty pleasures, like top 5 guilty pleasure songs.
Yeah, guilty pleasures.
Yeah, list. Yeah.
We should do that maybe in like a month or two.
Mine will be the exact same songs.
It'll be the exact same.
The same songs. Yeah, for me, seated crowd giving in is one of them.
Right? Yeah.
Is there anyone I know about that? Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
This was super fun.
Where can people find you? I know you're technically on a form of social media, but it's not your social media. So where can everyone find you or anything else you want to plug?
Yep. I pretty much only use Instagram. It's just @illgrip. I got a solo project. It's called 1 Decade. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on all the streaming platforms. New Ghost Inside record is currently out, also on all streaming platforms. Yeah. Other than that, man. Oh, Take Back Brand, by the way. Yeah, it's look at me forgetting about it because we had to put it on hold because so much. Due to COVID, just backups and stuff. But I do have a clothing brand. We did our launch and it was short lived, but we're just waiting for the world to kind of come back before we can start printing stuff again. But we are working on new designs and stuff. So hopefully we'll be posting more about that soon, but that's just @TakeBack Brand on Instagram and on every piece of social media there is. So go check that out.
I need to get a hoodie whenever you do the next run, and or buy something else so that we can give away on our show.
There you go.
Yeah,
giveaways are great.
Next time you come down too, I'll just give you one. I got some extras here.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and we will do this again down the road. And enjoy your night. Thank you for Hank for not barking for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was super fun.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anytime.
And for those who will listen, we will be back Sunday with whatever episode we have at that point.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Got the
for
boys.
real.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to